What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm here to bring you guys another video in my must-have Gags series. This is my series I created inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series. I always have her series and the community playlist linked down below, as well as all the Instagram pages I follow to get all this makeup knowledge. And lastly, but certainly not least, I always have all of the items listed and linked down below. If you see an asterisk behind that link, that means it is an affiliated link. If you shop through it, I very much appreciate it. That means that I get a small commission for talking about the products and of course linking them and introducing you to them. But otherwise, absolutely no big deal at all. I'm just happy that you're here to talk to me about the new makeup. And yeah, let's just get into it. So I've been doing really good at, quite honestly, not shopping. There have been so many sales lately, and I really talked about that last week. I feel like I took a break from this style of video. I needed the break personally. And in doing so, I found that you guys enjoyed that break and enjoyed the kind of cleanse I feel like with the go, buy that it felt like we were getting last week at the tail end of the Sephora sale. And I, no disrespect at all to anybody who shopped the sale. I shopped the sale. And those influencers who, talked about their products that they picked up, I completely understand. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't watch those videos, but I just personally felt overwhelmed, not only from the influencers, but also from the brands that were trying to compete with that sale. And it was just the perfect storm of things that I just had to step back. So I have no new makeup to talk to you guys about. I did film this eye look and this full face pretty much, and this is going to be my last Heritage Month video for the year, and this is going to be featuring Prados for the month of November. In the US, that is Native American or Indigenous month. So I'm so happy that I was able to pick those products up and of course showcase them on my channel. So that's pretty much it for the new makeup, and I think I'm gonna scoot over and we're gonna get into the new makeup releases. So like I said, I've been very kind of retrospective lately, so do not mind me if I'm just kind of bursting your bubble on something that you were very excited about. I don't intend to. I'm just very much being retrospective. First things first, Danessa Myricks is coming out with a brush specifically for her balm powder products. She has a whole range of those where it goes to clear, which is more of a primer, typically how people use it, all the way to tinted products that people can use not only as a skin tint but also as a primer as well. I think this makes complete sense. I have the clear though, so the use of this particular product for my collection doesn't make any sense. Maybe if I pick up a colored version that will make sense, but I haven't really found the perfect shade for me in her range, so I'm not really sure how realistic that concept is. Wayne Goss is coming out with a whole new range. So I talked about it 2 weeks ago now that I picked up some products from the Beautylish gift card event, and quite a few of those products were actually from the Wayne Goss range. So I'm so excited to show you guys those products eventually. I have them here. I just, I've been kind of taking my time testing products out and just not feeling like I have to rush out my reviews because I'm just tired. But anyways, I didn't actually realize that his brushes were like not available. I guess I just didn't have any of his brushes on my list, or I would have probably been like, where are his brushes? Anyways, a whole new range has been afloat, and I will do my best to kind of create a collage because I don't believe that any like reviewing page has created a collage. So from what I can see on this kind of flat post, The E1 and the E2 are not brushes that I typically use, nor is the E3 or the E4 is actually something that I've used typically. I'll use that for like a lid brush. So that so far is the only brush that I typically will use. I will use an E5, which is mainly something that I use as a pencil brush for my inner corner or for applying lower lash line eyeshadow in like more targeted areas. The E6 is something that is a little bit too small for me. I know I just won't get any use out of it. The F1 and the F2 are definitely products or shapes that I would get some use out of. Same with the F3. I love a pointed cheek brush like that specifically for bronzer. The F4, not something that I get use out of when it comes to natural hair. I just don't particularly like using foundation brushes that are natural hair. I prefer to stick with synthetic for natural hair brushes. And the F5, traditionally not a brush that I get use out of. So far, I haven't picked any of these brushes up, but I will just say a blanket statement. I do enjoy my Wayne Goss brushes. I know I did a video like years back where I was comparing them to Sonia G, and I still do stand by my comments that I think overall every brush brand has a strength, whether it's face brushes or eye brushes. And I think both brands have strong merit to encourage you to pick up because both brands have really good understanding of how to use makeup brushes, but also how to apply makeup. So I enjoy both brands, and I really do enjoy I really do enjoy Wayne Goss's brushes, and there are, as I went through the list, quite a few that I would love to try. And as long as they truly are shapes that I would get a lot of use out of course, after I see them in a more three-dimensional kind of aspect, I could see me picking them up. But right now, at least in that particular post, I didn't have that kind of visual. So I can't say if I am going to pick them up. I do, of course, have a Beautylish gift card already because of the gift card event, but I feel like it's too soon to use it. So I want to see some reviews. I don't think Alicia Archer has done a review, but I also honestly haven't watched a lot of her channel lately. So maybe I'll crawl over there to see if she's done her opinions and if she's shown some close-up and some comparisons. I also need to look at Sonia G's page because she typically does talk about some comparison posts and showcases comparisons between new brushes and old brushes. So I really want to see like some more footage of it. I vaguely want to say that I've like literally saved a video showcasing the brushes being showcased in a 3D dimensional. I'm not currently at that post right now, but I know I have the resources and the ways to get more knowledge. I just haven't gotten there that yet. Keeping it going, Marvel has done a collaboration with Thrive, and people have been low-key clowning this collection and this collaboration because it's just a weird collaboration. There are 3 random cream eyeshadow sticks that just, it doesn't make sense for collaborating with Marvel. Yes, the bag makes sense. Okay, cool, daddy, cool. But like the eyeshadow sticks doesn't really make sense. I personally don't really get a lot of use out of shimmery cream eye sticks. My cream eyeshadow sticks that like I think about using and I actively use are matte. So this is going to be an easy pass for me. But if you love Thrive, if you get a lot of use out of Thrive, definitely comment down below to let me know. I'm very much intrigued. LYS, which is a brand that I am affiliated with, has showcased that they have a lot more than I thought when it comes to their holiday releases. They have an eyeshadow palette that is available exclusively at QVC. And I vaguely remember them previously having an eyeshadow palette. And I'm now wondering if both eyeshadow palettes were exclusively at QVC, which is why I never saw them on the brand's website or Sephora. Are you interested in seeing the eyeshadow palette showcased? I'm interested in just trying the brand's eyeshadow palette formula. I haven't tried it, and I'm affiliated with the brand. I feel like I should at least have my thoughts on all of their products. So definitely let me know down below. This seems like a very nice compact eyeshadow palette. I would say it's very equivalent to the size of their full-size cream cheek palette, or their cream cheeks, and potentially like even their bronzer and even their powder, because their powder and their bronzer and their blush are all in the same kind of general compact. Let me know. I honestly hate buying things from QVC, but y'all could convince me. Y'all could convince me. Carolina Herrera is coming out with some makeup products. I vaguely remember, yep, we have another post. So I'm going to jump to that post right here where it's showcasing more products that they're coming out with. So they're coming out with liquid blushes, moon eyeshadows, which are their single eyeshadow pans, and lipstick components, and of course colors. I think this is really interesting. I feel as though this is the brand's first step into beauty and like makeup specifically. Is there anything that like I'm going to run for? Not necessarily. I think that there are products that are cute, not anything I can't live without. I'm going to watch to see the YouTubers that are actually bringing in some bank. And then if they are really loving the products, maybe I will pick something up. Cara Beauty is coming out with a creative version of course, the cookie tin. If you have a grandmother, you've seen the cookie tin. Does the cookie tin have cookies? Does the cookie tin have sewing supplies? The world may never know, you know? And I understand the concept behind this palette. I understand the kind of catchiness behind the palette, but I feel as though they could have kept the outside packaging and made the inside packaging a lot more organized, a lot more cohesive, and just a lot more less headache inducing. Like, this is just annoying, and it's not even like the space, it is literally the organization, the brushes, the sponge. Like, these are things that people are going to take out of the packaging and most likely forget to put back in. So you're gonna have empty spots in those areas, and like, who wants that? Who genuinely wants that in a long term? So this is something I can easily pass on. I've never tried Cara Beauty. I would love to hear from you if you have, down below. Elf Cosmetics is coming out with $2 lip liners. I think this makes sense for those who are in a pinch, really need a lip liner. There is a yellow base brown that looks really nice. If I happen to be at Target, or I never buy from Elf online. I just honestly, I don't get the point of doing that. But if I'm ever at Target and I really need a lip liner, or if I'm traveling and I need a lip liner, I go to Target and I see this, yeah, I'll pick it up. Is this something I'm going to actively go out of my way to pick up? No. I have so many beautiful lip liners, and I don't buy a lot of Elf. I could not tell you. I have two products from Elf that I can remember off the top of my head. They're both cream products. One is the cream matte bronzer, and the other is the cream matte blush. I like the matte blush. I don't necessarily like the cream bronzer, you know? So it's just like, it's one of those things. Okay, if it goes to Ulta, sure, I'll throw it in the cart. Sure, I'll throw it in the cart if I see it at Target. But otherwise, I'm not going to run to find this. I'm sure it's already available. It is. It was available as soon as November 3rd. Just not something for me currently. M Cosmetics has come out with a new eyeshadow palette. This is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. Very, very cool toned. It seems that cool tones are really, really coming in full force. It'll be very interesting because if I remember correctly, when cool tones previously had their time of fame, we were in a kind of no makeup version of that era. And so it'll be very interesting to see kind of when the warm tones come back, how full coverage makeup will come then. And you know, for me, I love a medium to light coverage. So I'm going to be stocking up on these foundations now because this is really my time to shine base wise. But it'll be very interesting to see how things are. This is not for me at all. I really don't get along with cool tones at all. Same goes with this. This is the 3CEX Smiley collaboration. I'm sure this is going to be available at Yes Style. If it is, I'll link it down below there. Otherwise, I want to say this brand is also available at Amazon in the United States. I think that this is fine. I doubt this would show up on my skin tone, which is always disappointing. I love supporting Yes Style in general, and of course, Asian owned brands, whether K Beauty or J Beauty or anything in between. Unfortunately, a lot of times the makeup products are just not meant for somebody in my skin tone, which I completely understand. Something else that I think I'm going to keep my money is the Makeup and Murder collection, and this is their murder house. There's a whole collection. It makes perfect sense for avid fans of this brand. I've never tried the brand. I think that I like their kind of kitsch. It's just there's never really been a perfect collection for me to try the brand, and a perfect time, if we're being honest. I'm always so interested in trying the brands that I already love, already know, and get so much enjoyment out of, that really bringing in these other brands financially ain't the smart idea. Plus also, like, who has the time to be constantly getting these repetitive palettes and like trying them out saying, oh yeah, this is nothing new, oh yeah, it's nothing new? What's the point? What is the point? Anyways, I think this is really, really cute. I love the packaging. I love the aesthetic. I love how every time I see something from this brand, they go for it and they do not miss on a lot of things. Just not something for me, at least not right now. Something else that I'm actually really surprised that I was able to hold to my guns is this Glaminatrix palette. I'm so happy I was able to hold to my guns. So this palette is named Fairy Lights, and this is a 6-pan all shimmer eyeshadow palette for the holidays. I think this is perfect for the right person. I love their formula. You guys hear me raving about it. I quite literally have their romantic whatever, I don't remember the second name, in the title of that palette. Rich Romantics, I want to say, maybe. I have that palette. I haven't even touched it. So to me, it didn't make sense to buy yet another palette from the brand, and I haven't touched the palette that I've already picked up. But also, I don't get a lot of use out of all shimmer eyeshadow palettes. All matte, yes, any day, anytime, anywhere, but all shimmer, absolutely not. So definitely gonna pass. It looks beautiful. I've seen it swatched on darker skin. I truly appreciate the brand for really getting so much content on a darker skin complexion, just not for me, unfortunately, to pick up. There's a collaboration afoot, and this is between Moda Brushes and Marilyn Monroe. Whoever is in charge of her name is really just dishing out her name for all of these makeup collaborations. It makes sense. I'm sure this is perfect for the person that's perfect for. I just don't particularly like any of the brushes. I'm not a huge Marilyn Monroe fan, and none of the shapes look perfect, especially when there's so many other brands that are coming out with beautiful and interesting new brushes. I really just no need to try anymore. Which reminds me, I have not talked about BK Beauty. I need to see if they did a post on their site, because I don't think I pinned. I'm not following them. What anarchy is this? Okay, so let's talk about the new collaboration that they did for their first collection in the Pro series. And this is a collaboration with Nikia Rose. Am I saying that wrong? I'm like trying to like jump. No. Nikki Rose. Yeah, I'm right. And these brushes look really nice. Like so nice. I believe right now they're only available in the set. And I want to say there are 7 brushes for over $100, which is not cheap. You can use a coupon code. Nikki has a code, which is Nikki10. I am so intrigued to try these particular brushes. No, stop. I'm so intrigued to try these brushes. I love BK Beauty brushes. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to pick them up. So far, I've been able to hold. But that's honestly because I've been so much more interested in using my money in other avenues. I don't know if you guys noticed, but your girl has become a plant mom. Let me know down below if you want to know more about your girl's plants. But Fenty Beauty has come out with new liquid liners. I previously quite a few holidays ago picked up their liners that looked matte, but if you smudged them more or less, they came out with like a glitter finish. I actually really liked those. I kept them for a very long time. I just don't get use out of liquid eyeliners, and for me to have kept this type of packaging where it's like that well type of liner means a lot, because I do not like, I do not like this type of liner. I particularly like more of a pen liner. So it really meant a lot that I kept these. I think that this is a great formula if it's the same formula that I tried before. I just don't need them. I now know that I just don't get use out of them. Burberry is relaunching their brand, and they're coming out with a setting and refining powder. I think this is great. There are 4 different shades. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get use out of them. I just don't think that, one, the formula and the product is for me. It is $48.50. It is ultra thin powder with skin protecting ingredients, and it's supposed to smooth the skin, give a comfortable all day set, blah 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 blah. It's supposed to hydrate, all of that. I, one, don't want to spend almost $50 for powder, not for a face setting powder. I am not going through powder like a normal combination skin individual would, but I still go through powder, okay? So I do not want to do that, one. Two, the shades that are available, there are 4. And typically what happens in this type of range is the third is like a little bit too light, but I can make it work for under eye setting powder, and the 4th is way too deep. And so I never can find a shade. I am not in the market for something that's like I have to have 2 shades of a product. I just don't want it. I don't want it anymore. I refuse to keep buying products in like this, and you guys will really be seeing that when you get to Swagmas. Swagmas will be coming soon, and starting December 1st, in case you guys did not know, where I will be posting every day for the month of December, because I will be doing a declutter, and I'm just over combining products that do not work for my person. Viseart is coming out with 2 new eyeshadow palettes, and these are the Violet Vesperin Etude and the Cashmere Cosmos Etude palettes. I think these both look really, really cute. If you're somebody who likes a very natural kind of neutral eyeshadow palette, they both look in the cool tone family. Nothing that I personally need. Kelly Bible has come out with her brand, and it is called the Beauty Bible. I really like the play on words. For me, this is definitely a brand that I'm gonna sit back and watch other YouTubers review. There are quite a few that I personally follow and actively watch their content that said that they're going to be picking up something from this collection. So I'm going to wait to see what comes from them. Kylie Cosmetics is coming out with new shades in her lips and cheek products. Not something that I need at all. She has some lip liners that she's coming out with new shades. Easy pass. Jones Rowe, which is a brand that I feel like a lot of influencers have been getting PR from recently, has been getting a little bit of traction from certain products that they have released. And they have a 3-year Bobby Kit 3.0. This is $82, and this has 5 best-selling items. So they have a Pinky Bronze Miracle Balm, a Pop Blush, a cool taupe shade for Just a Sec, whatever that is, the original color in the cool gloss, a brown shade in their best pencil, and then they have the bag. I must say, I'm intrigued. I'm not gonna lie, I'm intrigued. Will I pick it up? I don't know. It's expensive. It's expensive. Is it still available? Is there a coupon? Like, I already missed one sale of something that I actually wanted to get more product from. After curating my thoughts, understanding the products, I wanted to support the way I was going to blow them out the water with a huge order. And now I'm genuinely hurt. I'm probably still going to, but like, I'm personally hurt. It just, does it feel like Black Friday to you guys? Like, it feels like it's not the holiday season, not fully to me. I don't know if it's the stress of like so many other things going on with me in my personal life, but like, I just don't feel the true holiday spirit. And it also might be, honestly, because things are happening so early in comparison to like when I'm used to them happening. Let me know down below. Odin's Eye. So I talked about this in my Get Ready With Me. They thankfully are re-releasing their old holiday palettes from last year. These are the holiday palettes that released and sold out twice. So I'm so happy about this. I would highly recommend. Hopefully the formula and all of that jazz is still the same. I would definitely recommend the two palettes from last year. When we're looking at the palettes for this year, people have said it, and I didn't really know how to articulate what I felt until people said it. These are very desaturated, kind of more pastel and very neutral palettes that I think are meant for somebody. They're just not meant for me. These aren't meant for me. There's absolutely no depth in either of these palettes and just not something for me. So I'm gonna skip. This is a brand that I love. You guys know it. I have a catalog of products from them, a catalog of videos on my channel, and I'm just going to skip. I am personally going to skip. I would love to hear if you are very interested. Like I said, I would recommend the palettes from last year, depending on your preference. You know, there's one that's truly cool tone, one that is truly warm toned. I will say I definitely love them both, even though I would say that I don't get a lot of use out of cool tones, but strongly recommend you at least checking out those palettes from last year. Cosmic Brushes is re-releasing or restocking their purple palette in case you are interested. So definitely check that out. And they also have now launched, and it is going to be available on November 17th, their Winter Wonderland palette. This palette has blues, purples, and what I would assume are like a black and a really dark blue. There's just something about this that I just don't care. I hate to say that. I really do. If you guys have seen the last two roundups, I've had a Cosmic Brushes palette in there and I've loved them. They have ended up pretty much the top, if not the very #1 palette. But I honestly, I don't care. I don't care about this eyeshadow palette color scheme. Formulation, I'm sure, is outstanding. I'm sure it's great. I've seen really good reviews, but I don't care. So I'm gonna keep clinging to this uncareability to, you know, spend more money on my plants. I'm loving my plants. I got a Christmas tree cactus today because I was jealous everybody else at my job has Christmas tree cactuses and I don't. So I'm really hoping that it's gonna bloom beautifully, and if it does, I will definitely show you guys, probably on my Instagram, maybe here, but most likely on my Instagram. This eyelash is really trying to play me right now, and I refuse to let it win. I don't really know how to say this brand, but they have some new shades that are available in the US now of their Melting Candy Bombs. These look cute. They look very lightly pigmented. I love that I see a darker skinned model showcasing a shade. They're showcasing, of course, 05, which looks to be the most pigmented, darkest shade. None of these really look like brown. Maybe the rose milk tea. Typically I find that like milk tea shade is the closest to a brown that K Beauty or J Beauty brands are going to provide. I could definitely see me throwing this in a cart. Maybe this is available at Amazon. I find myself constantly buying things from Amazon for my plants, so maybe this will be something that I quickly pick up. Kendra Scott has come out with a fragrance line. I feel like sis is like, she is like a wrecking ball, right? She is coming through and she is breaking down barriers in so many different categories, doing collaboration with big brand names. And now this. So this is a chic and colorful jewelry and new collection of fragrances inspired by Wanderlust. So let's see. There are 3 different scents. Ruby Musk that has the notes of bergamot, pink pepper, and rose. Amber Aura, which has amber, cedarwood, and vanilla, and Jade Blossom, which has jasmine, tuberose, and sandalwood. I kind of like scents or notes out of all three. You can get a 75 milliliter for $120 or a 10 milliliter for $30. I wish that there was like a set where you could get three for a cheaper price. Can you? Let your girl know. I think these are cute. I'm sure one of my favorite YouTubers somewhere that does fragrances is going to talk about them though. So I'm going to go ahead and wait. Wet n Wild is also talking to Marilyn Monroe, and they've decided that they're going to do a collaboration. So this one is available at Amazon and Walgreens stores what? Walgreens stores only, and this is $79.99 for the PR box. There is also an eyeliner, a blush, two highlighters, a powder, a liquid eyeliner, an eye set, an eyeshadow and brush set, a headband, a lip liner and gloss set, a lipstick and balm set, and a luminous setting powder. Give Me Glow is coming out with quite a few new shades in blush. And if you did not know, sometime this year, last year, I don't actually remember, I showcased the brand's blushes. I picked up one blush, one highlighter in a yellow color. Of course, I absolutely love that yellow color. Love it to death. So I would love to try some of these more unique tones. Let's see the price on these. It's been a while since I picked them up. Of course, it doesn't say on this post the price, but I'm intrigued. I like some of the colors here. I could definitely see me picking a color or two up. Let me know down below if this is something that you personally are interested in. It looks like Fleur is coming out with some more kind of holiday breaking items, and these are two candles. One is in Current Crush, the other one is in Wild Balsam. Not kind of categories of products that I think I'm going to be interested, but the Current Crush has mandarin, rhubarb, and red currant in the top. Heart has passion fruit, cassis, peony, and rose petals, and then the base has moss and musk. Wild Balsam has fresh bergamot, green pine needle, and silver fir. Heart has wild balsam, French juniper, amber, and rosemary. Base has wild birch, cedarwood, and musk. Yeah, there's not one candle that I fully love all the kit and caboodle. So what you gonna do? We going to pass. We're going to pass. Another thing I think I'm going to pass, unfortunately, I think the packaging is jaw-dropping. And this is the Inslee Rain Lands of Enchanted palette. I was very, very intrigued to see what came out of this palette. And there is definitely a range between light to dark, all of that jazz. I don't want this palette. There's just really no buts or anything about it. I just don't want this palette. It's way too big to me, and I don't know. There's just a lot of light shades that I'm sure on my skin tone is just gonna be very, very ashy and just not personally for me. What's Up Beauty has showcased their latest palette, and this is the Dragon Eye palette, if I remember correctly. Yep. And this is really, really cute. Actually, one of you guys showcased sending me a screenshot of this and the more neutral palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. And we were talking, and she basically said, like, you know, to her, they both looked pretty much the same. And to me, I definitely think there are very similar parts of the palettes, but at the end of the day, neither of these palettes really bring anything to my collection. Now, like I've said, I have a collection, okay? I am on YouTube. Granted, it's not the size of a collection as somebody who, you know, gets PR from everybody under the sun, because I buy pretty much all of my makeup, but it is a collection nonetheless. So This is not something that I need. I think it's going to be an easy pass for me. I have yet to try the brand, and I do want to purely try the brand. It's just nothing has been perfect for me. I do want to say that the brand has showcased, have they showcased the sale? I can't remember. I might be wrong. Let's just keep going. If they showcase the sale, I'll talk about it next week if your girl can get to this video. Adept Cosmetics has now showcased their Element 115 palette, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I really did not want to say that. One, it is cool toned. I appreciate the more colorful aspect of the cool tone, but it's still cool tone. I don't get a lot of use out of blues. If I'm going to reach for blues, I have a blue palette from ColourPop, among some other things that I just reach for automatically. Then they have those like, I'm going to add like 4 to 5 colors in a pan. I just don't like that. I really don't like that. I want to know that if I'm putting something on my eye, I can put the exact same color on the other eye. With these types of palettes and my type of skill, I'm not going to get that. So I'm going to unfortunately pass. I love Adept Cosmetics. I love their formula. I love the quality, all of that jazz. If you're wondering if that is going to be up to par, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be up to par. But for me, when we're looking at the color story and we're looking at, you know, pricing of the palette and then just like looking at my collection, just not something that I personally need to pick up for me. Next we have Dee Dee's Signature, and when sis said she was back, she was back. She has now showcased yet another palette, and I feel like at this point I understand she's so excited with coming back and she wants to come back with a bam, but I feel like at this point she has not been back for a month and she's already re-released old palettes and now come out with 3 new palettes. That is a lot. That's a lot. So for me, I am 110% overwhelmed specifically with this brand alone. But let's talk about it. She has a Jingle Bell Ruby eyeshadow palette coming out, and there are some kind of more warm toned burgundy-ish tones, but there are a lot more kind of greeny tones. This definitely does scream kind of Christmas in my opinion. I think it's really pretty. I quite literally have not even opened up the palette that I've already picked up, the palette that I've already received, because I just received it. So for me, I'm just not going to be picking up another palette from the brand. I want to try the brand's formula, really get to know it, see if it's something that I need. If in the future some of these more limited edition palettes that could be interesting to my collection are still available, yeah, I'll pick it up. Otherwise, I'm really trying not to allow these brands to give me FOMO, even though I feel as though FOMO really works in their favor, because then people are going to buy products that maybe they haven't really budgeted for or they don't really need. So I'm trying to really think about those types of things. Pat McGrath has showcased a new collection, and this is her Dark Star 6 kit. I've literally never gotten one of these kits. Absolutely never gotten a kit. I don't like anything about these kits. So yeah. Skip. And also, I'm pretty sure she has a 30% off right now. I don't think it applies currently to the holiday. And I'm waiting for it to really apply to everything and anything that I want. I do want some things from the holiday. I also want some things that are really old at this point. I've told you guys once and I'll tell you guys again, I don't buy from her brand period unless it's 30 to 40% off, and I really gear towards that 40 because there's really nothing new from the brand that would be new for my collection. I like her products. I like the formulation. So there is that. A brand that I've never tried, Wicked Widow Beauty, is coming out with a resurrection palette. It's quite interesting. Very colorful, especially for this day and age. You have a mix of mattes and shimmers, light to dark. I like it. I couldn't say that there is a bad thing about this particular palette. There are 10 multi-chromes, 2 duochromes, and 12 mattes. I love that the mattes are the majority kind of formulation in this palette. You can get it for $78, although there are 10% off coupons out there, so you could technically get it for $70. It is available on the 15th at 12 noon EST. $70 is quite expensive. I don't think I can justify doing that for the first time trying a brand, but I really actually do like that color scheme. And not that it would be something new, but it would be something refreshing for some of the palettes that I have been talking about and picking up lately. Etude House has come out with a pink archive. Absolutely nothing in this collection looks like it's going to work on me at all. Not meant for me. It's definitely meant for lighter skin tones. Easy pass. No need to play myself. Jouer. I haven't heard anybody talk about Jouer in a minute. So Jouer is coming out with some holiday sets. It's interesting that they're waiting to release these sets now. I feel like they should have really pushed them out during the height of like the Sephora and the Ulta sales, because people really buy those types of sets and just gifts in general during those sales. But who am I but Joe Schmo? So they have quite a few sets. One that is the must-haves. Sorry. And then also the Bonnes Fites. Basically, it looks like these are products that are full size in other ranges or other places, but they're kind of mini sizes in these packagings. So you have a setting powder and translucent, a complexion blush, a blush and bloom stick in bare rose, and a lip enhancer in vanilla. Absolutely not. Out of all of those things, the only thing that I would be considering is the lip enhancer. I can get that for a lot cheaper than $68. Fantasy Cosmetica is showcasing that they are doing a sale. This one I did not miss. This one starts November 19th to November 29th, so you've quite some time to pick things up. They are doing a sale on pretty much everything. They have a sale on the perfumes. I think I'm going to go ahead and finally pull the trigger. I've been wanting to try theirs since. I'm going to go ahead and do it. 25% off of their perfumes, 30% off of the 30 milliliters. Is that a bigger, maybe that's a bigger size than the perfumes. Maybe the perfumes are like the travel size. That's the size that I'm aiming to pick up because I really want to just get my nose on the scents. But I'm very excited about that. And you can also stack an affiliated code. I do not have affiliated code, but there are plenty of people who have affiliated codes. Of course, you can get other things as well. I think I'm going to try and potentially pick up a couple of things from that. I believe this is the last thing that is new for me, already pinned, is the collaboration between Bobbi Brown and Powder Puff Girls. I never say that name right, so we're just going to let that go. This is available currently in Europe and Asia. And I will say, I'm feeling some tinges. Why? Nobody knows, but I'm feeling some tinges. I really am. I like the quad. I like the single shadows. It honestly might be because I just heard Lauren May Beauty raving about these products in general, and I have been eyeing. When I say I've been eyeing, I have been mesmerized by the holiday products from Bobbi Brown, her blush palette and the eyeshadow duo. And the blush palette or the face palette, whatever you want to call it, is on sale on her site. I think I'm going to pull the trigger at least on the blush palette on her site because it's on sale and I really want it. I love blush palettes. I keep saying blush palette. I love face palettes. I get a lot of use out of it, and it appears as though the bronzer may work for my skin tone. And I have to know. This is the part of me where it's like, yes, there are things where I'm like, it's boring. I don't see any use. But if there's something that like I've had this in my cart and I've deleted the windows on my phone, on my computer since it released, and I'm still very much itching to to pick it up. At this point, you know, at this point, I feel like it is warranted to pick it up and just curb that interest. But I'm considering waiting and hoping that that palette will still be available and on sale when this collection becomes available, because I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with the eyeshadow palette and potentially the singles. Who knows? Everything else I don't really care about. The highlighter, I've already had a version of that highlighter. It's too icy for me personally, but I'm so intrigued, so interested. I want it. They have a limited edition version of the vitamin enriched base. I love that product. I wanted to get one. I could get one in limited edition packaging. Like, I just feel like this is my time to shine, and I really need this to become available in the US of A. So yeah, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, I'm really staying true to my current and new urges to really just do better. Just do better in general on shopping my collection, using the products I already have, and then just like honestly trying the things that like I've halfway tried or I haven't tried. You know, it's simple things like that that really makes the world go round. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below, of course, if there's anything that I've talked about that you have to get your hands on. If you've already got your hands on it, let your girl know. If there's sales that you want to talk about, comment down below. Your girl loves sales. But as always, I want to say, you know, a sale will always come around. So if you don't got the money now, or if you don't want to use the money now, don't let that sale go by. It will come back, and I promise you, even if it is limited edition, at this point in the makeup industry, I just don't trust it. I don't trust limited edition. If there's enough hype, if there's enough people asking for the product to come back, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back because the brand wants the money. The brand wants the money. But I'm gonna go sit down. I need to edit this video. I'm sure it's like midnight, and this video is supposed to go about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, comment down below. Go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up. Go ahead and give this video a huge thumb up. And if you are not a part of the swag club, what you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscription box down below. I would love for you guys to join the fam. And of course, as always, if you want to join my membership, that is also available down below. Only $1 a month. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video, and I'm sure it's going to be saucy because I'm sure it's going to be the full face of makeup here. So I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.